Welcome to episode 2. We can just as well go around and introduce everybody, say who you are, what you're playing, and all that good stuff. And we'll start with Maddie.
I'm Maddie. I'm playing everyone's favorite reoccurring blue-haired Malkavian named Teddy. She's our resident netrunner and techie specialist. And cool.
All right, Ash.
Hi, I'm Ash. I play Eclipse, our wonderful Brewhub bouncer. I'm here for a good time.
Not a long time?
Maybe.
Thank you so much. Sarah.
Hi, I'm Antique, played by Sarah. And she is a scene queen, daytime news reporter, at nighttime she's something else.
Interesting. Patch.
Hello, I am Patch, reprising the role of everyone's favorite vamp dad, Ventru, Lucy and Oriel.
All right, last but not least, Yura.
Hey, Yoda, I will be playing Jun, a detective, formerly NCPD. We'll figure out what's happening, I guess.
So, without further ado, somewhere else in Night City, we open on a familiar, darkened hospital room. The lights kept off. The only patient inside, sleeping, but to everyone else may appear to be dead. The door opens. A figure in a crisp white coat with dark floppy hair enters. He grabs some medical supplies, setting up what appears to be a blood transfusion. Inserting an IV into this patient's arm. He waits 5-10 minutes as the blood drips from the bag. Nothing happens. He frowns, taking out a pocket knife, somewhat familiar, but repurposed, perhaps. He looks around as though checking to make sure he's really alone. He opens the switchblade and slices into his palm, clenching his fist and letting it drip into the patient's mouth. Our view settles on the steady drip, drip, drip. And we cut away. Crosstown. One of the fancier open-air soirees that Night City has seen in some time. Celebrating the successful launch of It Girl Phaedra Aperon's clothing line, Envoque, spelled ENVOQUE. The party is dazzling, perhaps quite literally, thanks to the intense neon glow. Kindred and kind of the elite mingle with one another, drifting through the crowd. A few of the more eager-looking humans are turned away with bored scoffs. The music is a thundering EDM beat, a remix of an obscure underground artist that always sounds vaguely familiar. There are many opportunities presented with attending this particular soiree. To mingle with the elite of Night City. To see and be seen by popular media outlets. And for a select few of you, the opportunity to discreetly feed. You all arrive in what amounts to a loading dock a rear entrance. The driver knew the score when he picked all of you up, employed by Lucian as he is. And you have a few minutes before you are escorted through the back entrance.
We could have gone through the front. I got invites for us.
I don't like crowds.
I kind of need to show my face, so if you guys want to use the back entrance and we'll meet inside, I do need to make an appearance. You know, like the check mark on the list.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
All right. Anyone wants to join the front? Else I'll meet you inside. Okay, bye! And she disappears.
So, John and Eclipse, what are we doing? What are we thinking?
She's just gonna Eclipse is just going to follow Lucian and Teddy in through the back.
Yeah, I think I would like to do the same. I'm not a fan of all the crowd work. I don't need to have that much, judging from how some of the others were talking about making a grand entrance last time. It is probably for the best that we take it a little bit more stealthy, at least on the way in, for some of us.
There's plenty of people here. If you wanted to be noticed, then there are ways of doing that. But if you wanted to blend in, you could mingle amongst the uninitiated, the crowd that's just stands off to the side like they're at a high school dance and no one wants to dance with them. You would estimate that these people appear to be the most human out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You all make your way inside the party through various entry points. Lights flash. Music is much louder inside. You would notice the thump. Everyone's feeling the vibes are immaculate, in other words.
I'm going to the front entrance, and there's always people who want to get in line, and I do have a crowd of followers who are not on the list, so I'll pick one I have already had contact with, and the deal is feed a little, get on the list. So I would take them inside if I get a snack.
Okay. They know you at the door. You
Yep.
are not given an issue by the human security, and you describe the person that you link arms with and escort inside the party.
I probably picked a female, so similar to me. So it's like, two girlfriends walking in, stuff like that. She is probably like an it girl who wants to get inside, who's not had the social status yet. And like I said, there's a pool of people which fluctuates, and she's in that not that long. So yeah. But we have done it before, so she knows the drill.
Oh, yeah. And are you wanting to find a discreet place to feed?
I would say the restroom sounds good.
The restroom has a lock on it. I'll say it's one of those single restrooms. So, assuming you would like to take off 1 point of hunger.
Yeah. And I would say I'm all over her already, like kissing her neck and whatever. So it looks like we're making out already.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say she offers you her neck, and the resonance in her blood, what gives it its flavor, is a spark of sweet delight, of excitement at receiving your attention. Decidedly sanguine in nature. Sanguine being the flavor of excitement.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going to cut back to everybody else. Lucian, what are you doing as you take in this party?
Well, for one thing, I think he's feeling a little nostalgic, as it's making him think back to the original Phantasme, some of the club nights that they had, feeling that energy in the air. It's been a while. He was never one for getting heavily involved, but it was always good to know that his patrons were always enjoying themselves. So despite being a very well-known figure, he's doing his best to go unnoticed, but it's probably very difficult for him.
If you'd like to be a bit more discreet in this crowd, you can give me composure and stealth.
So that's 4. I have no points in stealth. So
It's just the 4 composure.
just the 4 composure. All right.
But if you'd like, you can also do a hunger check to add an extra die to your pool, potentially.
Screw it. Let's do that.
All right, hunger check first.
That's a 3.
Oh God, not again.
All right.
Oh gosh.
It happens slowly. You slink a little bit toward the shadows, but as you do, perhaps looking into the crowd, reminiscing about these nights when you were at the center of it all, when your throng of followers at Phantasma were admiring you. It is perhaps this thought that triggers the familiar ache of hunger. As you contemplate this, you would hear just a single phrase. Longivagaris etsi meus es. Which, when translated, you hear it in a slight accent that is perhaps not of this world, of a very old world, unfamiliar world. The phrase often favored by the one who created you. You wander far, though you are mine.
I think he just mutters under his breath in response. Nobody speaks Latin anymore, Lennox.
Sassy Vamp Dad. Sassy Vamp Dad.
He grits his teeth and he makes his check.
All right.
That's 2 4s, a 5, and a 6. So 1 success.
2 successes.
Oh, 2 successes.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
What did you do to your dice?
I don't know.
What did you do?
It's a mitigated success. Those who would know who you are seem to know better than to approach you, but you get plenty of people staring inappropriately.
Not the time, not the place, not the time, not the place.
All right. Eclipse. What are we doing? What are we thinking?
She has no idea what to really make of it. She's used to being at Phantasme, being the bouncer there. Here she's just like a guest. So she's never really experienced that other than working at her other club prior to Phantasme.
A lot of mingling happens from here. Antique, you probably exit the restroom, discreetly wiping the corner of your mouth. Now back down to hunger 1. As you rejoin the crowd, in a voice that seems to be coming from no one in particular and yet emanating from everywhere all at once, you hear, "The fountains. Hurry." You would note that there is a big faux marble fountain in the center of the room where a water feature is running. And only you would hear this, Antique.
Does it sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay, I'll walk towards it, I guess. since I don't know where the others are.
Take a seat. There is a big edge on the fountain that would invite people to sit.
I'll take a quick look and sit.
You turn your head this way and that, and then you hear just act normal. We can't be seen talking to each other.
Okay, she pulls out her lipstick and starts like. She actually pulls a vintage mirror. She could look in her display or whatever, but she uses the old timey-wimey vintage mirrors, like, so she can actually see a bit.
Oh, sure, that's pretty clever. You angle the mirror just so, catching a lot of the water feature, including the neon that's a part of the display, and you see a lot of glistening, what looks like scales almost. The edge of a distinct looking gown. You would recognize it as one of the pieces scheduled to be displayed this evening. Come to think of it, you angle it a little bit higher and you see the back of someone's neck and the signature short pink hair, a fade wraparound. What she says next gives you pause. You need to release the video.
Which one?
The original one. With me.
You have a death wish or something? I mean, you're already dead, but you know what I mean.
If you don't, I'm going to be forced to act in a much worse way. They want the masquerade broken. I can't say more. But I'm not safe. My family isn't safe.
But that means... Are you disappearing? What are you doing?
I'm telling you this because I will need somewhere to hide.
Can I think about it, or does it happen right now?
You have 30 minutes, I would guess. It's when the fashion show starts. The music's going to start playing, the runway is going to rise out of the ground, and the video of me is going to be played. Where humans and vampires can see it.
Okay, thanks for warning me. Quick question. Did it have to be in front of the club?
Not only did it have to be in front of the club, it had to be outside of Lucian's club.
Is there a reason for that?
They wouldn't tell me.
Interesting. Do you know who they are?
I can't say. And her throat tightens in a way that suggests that that information, were you to obtain it, would be under duress.
Okay. So, do you have a place to hide, or do you want us to hide you after blowing up everything?
You have a coterie.
Yeah.
I hope they will understand. This all could have been much worse if the doctored video was released.
Okay.
Thank you.
She tries to find the others.
John, where would you have ended up in the middle of this party?
That is a good question. I think seeing how my years at the NCPD have made me cautious, especially in spaces like these where there's absolutely dozens of characters that are on some kind of list and know who I was. Throughout the years, I've obviously changed my look a little bit more, so hopefully that part makes it a little bit easier to blend in a little bit more. I'm not wearing a uniform anymore, so that makes it easy. I'd like to keep an eye out through the crowd, kind of pretending to be Lucian's bodyguard, second bodyguard, I guess. Just mean mugging every single person that would like to come up. And either intimidating them in such a way that it makes it much harder for them to actually do so. And trying to keep an eye out for anything specifically suspicious that jumps out at me in either the corner of my eye or...
Sure. Let's see. If you like, you can go ahead and we'll say wits and awareness.
Okay.
DC is 3.
Well, we're gonna find out. Okay, that's a 10. That's a 6. That's a 9, and then 2 3s.
3 successes. Meets it, beats it. What becomes immediately visible in your perception is Antique making her way through the crowd. But off to the side, Teddy, where would you have ended up at this party?
Oh, she would be right by Lucian. Like, maybe a little, like, he's here, she's, like, right here.
Sure.
Yeah.
She is not leaving his side. Because she is, well, family. And
so,
with what she knows has already happened, no.
I think it's safe to say that Lucian has approximately 3 bodyguards tonight.
I'm
She's
making no effort whatsoever to hide any firearm whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
She absolutely has one hand on a trigger, ready to quick draw and snap at any point.
That's the other eye in the corner, making sure no premature escalations happen yet.
We'll say both of you would be able to perceive that there are a few other individuals in the crowd openly carrying firearms.
Mm-hmm.
But John, with your 3 successes, you would see a bunch of people who'd be coordinating some event scheduled to happen later this evening. Few humans dressed in dark clothing with headsets, conferring with each other, writing things down in clipboards. Clearly, things are happening behind the scenes.
Oh, clearly production staff.
Yes, but
okay.
Antique, you make your way over to the table with everybody.
She tries to actually talk without anyone around it really taking notice of what we're talking about.
Sure.
And she tries to relate the information she just got, and also like, Lucian, I think someone's targeting especially you, but in general, there might be a big coming out tonight, and I'm not talking the sexual kind. We have several options. We let it happen. I'm not against it. We could pretend everybody in the city is a vampire and this is an actual masquerade ball, and everybody is just like, so everything's fake, it's a show. We try to stop the video, we pull the fire alarm. I have a million ideas, but it's your neck, literally, that's on the line, and us, second line. So what do you want to do?
It wouldn't be the first. I suspect it won't be the last. How curiously timed it is, indeed.
Yeah. With your whoever disappeared plus this public stunt, I asked them specifically if it had to be in front, and someone seems to pressure them.
Someone's trying to lure me out into the public.
You are. So...
It would appear so.
Disappearing act? What do you want to do? Do we stop it?
As much I don't know, I don't care for anything. it would probably be in our best interest to prevent a public showing. Teddy, do you have any way to help? Where I can back you up? Where we can back you up? Seeing how you're the most technically available from all of us.
Where are they putting the video up?
Gonna be next to the fashion show. I mean, I can influence the humans, the mortals, so you're free range to do some digital magic, but
and at the very least,
the video is out there.
Digital magic.
What she said is, if the fake video comes out, it's even worse. I'm not sure if it's just her personal thing when they kill her friends, family, whatever, but...
Dad, do you think whoever it is, do you think Joey might have been right? That somebody was trying to kill him?
Well, that would make 3 of us out of the old group.
That's what he said before he left. That's why I put him back in the club.
1 minute. Lucian pulls out his phone. First of all, checks the group chat, because he sent a message out just seeing if anyone would check in. In particular, he's looking to see if there's been a response from Indigo.
You get a shot of a sunset from a hotel room window. You assume it's light type. That would come in as a response from Indigo. Below it, greetings from Pacifica. Other than that, Trinity sent a few hearts. Nothing from Serenity, and nothing from Amarantha's phone.
I think he'll just respond with, take care everyone, feeling nostalgic.
Get a few more hearts in response.
Against my better judgment, I'm wondering if we should let this play out. We might get more information that way. We don't learn anything by turning and running.
True. I wonder if I can bug it. See if I can figure out where it's coming from. Like, who actually is playing it.
That's a good idea. What if you make it like, you know, back in the day when they had those provocative runway shows where it's like, ooh, here, da, da. If you make the video a bit more glitchy and stuff, make it part of the show. So it's like, new line, the vampiric touch or something. So people don't actually assume it's real. But it's still the video, so she can't get in trouble for it.
You do that?
Question for the GM.
Yes.
Thinking back to that video footage, was there anyone else in the video?
Beyond the person that Phaedra was feeding on, no.
And we couldn't
Good
see
question.
who she was, right? Or whoever they were feeding on, like we didn't see their face.
I'll say this is one of those situations that would call for a zoom in and enhance.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll just call it your hacking specialty.
Okay.
Kind of like your passive hacking ability, so you don't need to roll for this one.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool.
You can. You zoom in and enhance. It doesn't appear immediately familiar, but from the way she's dressed, it seems very deliberate. They wanted to make her look like any old patron, barfly, club hopper, what have you, that could be found at any one of these places.
Any tattoos?
Good question. There is... We'll say that her dress is riding up enough to show an upside down A, letter A, on her upper thigh.
Okay. And I take a quick screenshot and send it to my other network?
Sure.
Again, against my better judgment, I say we let this play out.
Can we still make it glitch, please?
I can do that because I'm planning on trying to backdoor and figure out where it's coming from.
I just hate the thought it goes through without complications, you know, a little bit disturbance.
I'll sit up alongside Jun and sort of quietly say, this person, this individual that they were feeding on, this doesn't work on our kind, but if they're not our kind, then I remember a while ago in Arasaka they were talking about, I don't know a lot about it, but they were talking about something like a brain dance.
Okay.
That might be something that could be useful in the right circumstance as a fallback. Be able to see what we can't see on the footage.
That's actually a good way of thinking.
You have connections, granted not currently active, but man of your skills, I'm sure you might be able to work something out. Take a favor or something owed.
I'll see what I can do. One thing is for certain, we do definitely need the technical release of your daughter, though. Because she will likely be quicker than any of us going through it.
All right.
Are you sure you want to do this?
As the old saying goes among humans, this ain't my first rodeo.
Well, settle up, partner. It's going to be a wild ride.
Indeed.
I mean, we can at the very least check out some of the production behind the scenes if you want to. Maybe it's never too late, at least not yet.
I like you. I'll keep you around.
Noted.
Antique, how long do we have until that video airs?
I mean, we've been talking for about like 5 to 10 minutes, so maybe 20. I mean, we can stall the show a bit,
Yeah.
if you like, make some trouble. There's always delays. Nobody expected to start at
Just
the, proper
plug in
time.
a cable here, cable there.
What do you think, Teddy?
If you want to play it where we let it go, I'm good with that. I just want to know where it comes from. Because if we can figure out where it's coming from, we can figure out who is trying to ruin your life. And that I would very much like to do.
I don't think they're trying to ruin my life. I think they're trying to end it.
Yeah. And I kind of want to keep you alive. That's kind of my thing. So I'd like to put them in the ground.
Also currently going to affect all of us, not just yours.
Well, I say we let it play. We see what happens, we go from there. As it does affect everyone, then this is probably the last chance. If anyone wishes to step away, they may do so, and I will not bear any ill will towards you.
Well, I can do some additional stuff, and at least the immortals won't believe it directly. If you let me, I'll do a couple of circles, and we'll see. I mean, our kind won't mind, whatever, but little bit of social magic. And you see her just walking around the crowd, and she seems more charismatic or whatever. Something's different about her. I already texted our GM what I want to do because I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce that. And it's basically, I'm foreign. I have no idea. I've never heard that word. So
No one
I would
speaks
know
Latin
it's not
anymore.
Pomini.
So basically, it's almost like as if she was a siren, and I want to use it for her to walk the crowd, and everybody who's in earshot kind of gets almost like in a trance, and she's hyping up the show. It's crazy, unbelievable stuff's happening. You can't trust your eyes, or maybe you can, just making everybody unsure what's happening later, and it's gonna last an hour. So at least everybody who heard it is probably confused.
Nice.
You draw the attention of plenty of the crowd, moving through. Almost every eye is upon you. In addition to Melpomene. Okay, so the way that Melpomene works, you are able to use the power of awe, which is the power to direct attention your way, just with your voice alone. So by moving through the crowd, talking things up, hyping people up for the show, plenty of attention is diverted your way. And it is free, so this is something you can inherently do, and that's one distraction. Everybody else, what are we doing?
Can I
just put everything on social, so this is the only skill I have, guys.
You're live streaming, just like, and the way that you're talking it up on a live stream, like, everybody notices you filming, tries to get in on the shot, photo bombs a little bit, yeah.
It's just Sarah doing another TikTok.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can Teddy get to the equipment where the video will be being displayed from so that she can basically, what she wants to do is a reverse IP lookup kind of thing, and put a bug so that she can track when this shit is happening and where it's coming from.
Well,
right.
Teddy, if you would like me to join you, I could theoretically use my false identity with my somewhat believable NCPD badge. Seeing how this is a big event, security is tight, but wouldn't surprise me if there is something that we can do, at least unplug a cable here or there in case.
Yeah.
We do want to prevent it, and two of us makes it a lot easier. Just point me at the cable, point me at the thing you want me to do.
Tad said to let it ride. I just want to know where it comes from.
Okay. Well, at least I can give you something.
You can
like
absolutely come with. That's fine.
Sure.
And then she's going to look at Eclipse and be like, do not leave his side.
You got it.
Ooh, Antique, you mentioned wanting to ask any of your contacts about the tattoo. So you do receive a response. No idea about the tattoo, but they're wearing a BD helmet. BD, code for brain dance.
Brain dance, okay. Does that ring a bell? It doesn't to me.
Brain dance is a common piece of technology in Night City. Anyone wishing to experience like a thrilling, pulse-pounding excitement puts on a brain dance helmet. It's essentially like an AR augmented reality, and in Night City, just about anything can be a brain dance, from like doing drugs to like getting killed or doing a heist, things like that. It. So the person that Phaedra was speeding on was wearing a brain dance helmet.
Since you experience the exact same emotions, feelings, and sight as the person did that recorded it. So it's 4D VR.
I got it now. I know what this is. I got it now. Sorry.
So someone, whoever Phaedra fed on, was making a brain dance for other people to later watch and enjoy the feeling of being fed on.
Just a different other question, side of like a little bit more tech related for us. Is there a possibility for us to keep in contact distance-wise, like a Bluetooth headset kind of idea? Because you do have
pieces.
Something similar to that, yeah. seeing how
Possible.
I mean,
I don't
Antique might have an old phone she can text, but I doubt it.
Trunk. Let me check my trunk, Bridget.
Yep. Yep. There is the trunk of the car that you all arrived in. Presumably, yeah, it would hold just the device that you're looking for.
or the equivalent communication inside your head, whatever.
So
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
do.
You know what I
Teddy has that bag
mean.
that has her blood bag in it. That's what I feel is her check the trunk. She has like it's basically a bag of holding of shit that she might need,
That's
but it's
fair.
a her bag.
So, for a little bit more fun, if everybody could pull up their character sheets, scroll
Sure.
down to items in inventory. It's right below your humanity, hunger, blood potency,
Yes.
all that.
Mhm.
So if you click on that, search tactical earbuds.
Ooh.
Everybody gets
If I could
one.
spell.
Shout
Just
out
go
to
ahead
Demi
and hit-
Blaine.
Yeah. These inventory options do look fun. Some of the options.
Dude, these are so dope.
It says they balance out sound for clear audio and come with a microphone for clear carrying speech.
Okay.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, tactical
Thank
earbuds
you.
also add 1 die to composure tests in combat situations.
Ooh,
That's
very
kind of
fun.
clutch.
So basically, they're loops.
Yes.
Yes, yes, they
Nice.
are.
Still want to try those.
I do too.
Damn it.
Fitted with all of these earbuds, we have Antique in the crowd, causing a spectacle. We have Teddy and John making our way to the equipment. We have Eclipse staying with Lucian.
Yep.
All right. Teddy and John over by the equipment. There are a few human personnel. I'll say there's 2. One is working the lighting board, another is typing away on a computer. They don't appear to notice you right away.
Just under my breath, I whisper to Teddy, just work your magic until they notice you, and we'll play it cool for now.
Can I stealthily jack into the computer that he is using?
As he's typing on it,
No, like
Like-
I want to be like if it's on like a table, like Teddy wants to like very stealthily like come up, plug into the back of it, where she's still
Ooh.
crouched down in front of the table, so he can't see her, and because she has her tablet, so she can just go ahead.
okay. Let's make this dexterity and stealth with a pretty high DC. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
Just don't
Dexterity and
fuck this
stealth.
up.
That's okay. This is not a bad dice pool. This is a 5 for me, so this is not
Okay.
terrible. This is not terrible.
I'm just picturing as he's typing, can I borrow this? Can I have this?
Suddenly I feel a change in the air, Eclipse. I feel like I'm about to die.
Not on my watch.
It's a puff of
We've
smoke
got
from the
3
back.
successes and 2 fails.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This head turns toward you. What do you think you're doing?
Okay, so she is going to use one of her. This is going to be dangerous because
Guns.
this is no. Actually, she's going to use her. Is it chemistry?
Chemistry?
It has a CH, but yes, that's the one. Where she can create a brief but vivid hallucination, distracting and drawing the attention of those affected. So she is going to use that to make him think that he didn't see anything, and she can still do what he wants.
Okay.
And-
Couple things. They're human, so they have no role to resist this, but it will require manipulation and obfuscate, and I am going to need a rouse check, please. Do
Okay,
that first.
let's check. We have a 5.
Okay.
Okay, you're good. Wait,
Okay, and then
a 5. 2 to 5 is a fail.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, that was my rouse check.
That was a rouse check.
Yeah, I didn't roll my roll yet.
Yeah, but you failed a hunger check, so please add another point.
Oh,
of
that, yes.
hunger.
Oh, I don't want to listen to Jude bitch and moan.
Now things are getting interesting. I was waiting for you to have one of your devious little tricks in mind.
Jude, go away.
Shelley's voice would be a lot higher after what happened to him.
Oh my god.
Go off, King. Go off.
Oh no. Oh
And then
no.
we said
All right.
manipulation and obfuscate. So that's 3 there. And is it 2?
Another 5.
Oh, so just roll 5. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
1's a crit. 1's a 5. Gotta roll the other 3. Please be a crit. Please be a crit. Please be a crit. I got 1 crit, 3 successes, 2 fails. Or no, 3 successes total, 1 crit, 2 fails.
Okay.
3 out of 5.
So, all right. 3 successes. They are humans, so they don't have any roll to resist this, but I'll say it affects the other person at the lighting board as well.
Yes.
This guy starts to say, "What do you think you're doing?" And then it looks like you disappear in a puff of smoke.
That's the solution. Yeah. I just tattoo myself, basically.
What do you? Oh, wait. What? What just
Well,
happened? Did you see that? I'm like, no, wait, I didn't see that. They start like talking very confusedly, but you haven't given them a reason to leave, so they are still sitting there very much. Like, oh,
What did
that
she
was
jack
weird.
in? The whole purpose was just so that she can be in front of it so they don't see her and jacked it.
All right.
That's it. That's all she wants to
I'll
do.
allow it. I'll allow you to jack in.
Yes. Cool.
But will she
Oh,
allow
God,
you to jack
context.
off?
Yep. Okay, so you are into their network. What are you intending to do again?
Teddy is placing basically a virus to track where they're broadcasting that video from, how they got it, how it got to this computer.
Okay. Let's see. And you're doing this from your phone, presumably.
Her tablet, yes.
All right. We'll say that the screen in front of these human lighting and sound engineers appears to glitch, and they both look at each other. Wait, what's happening? Wait. They start tapping computer keys, maybe hitting Control Alt Delete. Wait, no, what's going on? Oh shit, they're gonna be so mad. They are both perplexed at what is happening to their lighting and soundboard, but it appears you were successful in your diversion virus.
Yes. So now she doesn't need to be connected. She has it so that basically what this virus is doing is wherever this video gets broadcasted from, how it gets sent to this is how we want it to work. So if I need to roll something, let me know. But she's basically implementing this virus so that she doesn't have to be connected, but she gets all of the information that she wants from this video, like where it originated from, what IP address,
Ooh, I
like
need to pull
those
up someone
kinds of
else's
things.
sheet.
Get directly put to her computer or her laptop or whatever travel device.
I'm glad
she has
Maddie
in-
missed what I just said. We'll see. All right. Need more dice for this.
I like to imagine that Teddy's just doing everything off a BlackBerry.
Yeah. Let's see.
Though she
You do
could,
that
but no.
with that keyboard, that's so much easier. Honestly.
Honestly, her phone probably is a BlackBerry, like a decked out BlackBerry. But she's doing it from her little tablet so that she's like connected and she can just.
Remind me how many successes you got again?
So I didn't roll anything techie for it, but off of this
Specifically on your Chimer stream.
Oh, that one I had 3 successes.
3. All right.
3 out of 5.
Okay, so for now, mission successful.
Cool. Cool.
John, you've just watched this interesting display of technical ability.
So if the video plays, she should get the information she wants, which is the goal. That's all she wants, is to make sure that this gives her information when it's on her, when she's zips away. And then she would also like to stealthily move away from that table.
All right, for that, since you spoke them already, dexterity and stealth, please.
Okay.
Actually, since you did spook them already, remove one die from your pool.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
Okay, fine. Rude.
you could, in theory, also use like the second person that is ready to make a diversion, but that's okay.
Oh, we have three.
No worries.
We have 3 out of 4 this time, Bridget.
John, if you would like to create another diversion to
I was just
potentially
gonna
help.
I just want to give a good solid kick against the first plug. Anything that looks like either a data cable or like a video cable, just like the outlet, just give it a good like yoink with my foot. Either that it unplugs or snaps off.
Do you want to join our clan?
Okay, you know what? Let's make
Pretending
this
that I'm gonna fall over the cable, essentially, like a shit, like a oops, clumsy me. You know what I mean? That kind of maneuver.
In that case, if you want to make it deliberate, give me strength and athletics.
Something I can actually good at. That's 4 for strength, and athletics is 2.
Nothing like the high dice pulls. It's like, let me roll all of the clicks.
Okay, so that is 3 10s and 2 6s and 1 failure.
Okay, that's a total of 7 successes.
That's our first exploding one.
So-
Yay!
All right.
Why in the discotheque?
Cable does knock out very easily. I'll say that there's even a bit of a spark, an electrical spark, as the cable pops out of place. You maybe used a bit more force than necessary, but it is popped out. That is sufficient enough to distract from what Teddy is doing. So it does look like you tripped. The person closest to the lighting board just goes, "Oh no! What happened? Oh jeez!
Shit! Fuck!
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, man. First off, who lays these cables here, just like right in the way?
I
unsafe.
told them this was going to be a problem. Oh no! Oh jeez! We gotta fix this." The two of them start scrambling a bit. One of them does attempt to walk closer to the cable to put it back in.
You should help them pull more.
I was about to just say, like, I'm still in the middle of this, like a pile of cables, most likely. Just the first other cable that can snag on my foot. Just step back, like, oh, I'm so sorry. With my heel, just snagging whatever I can snag.
No. You probably bend a few pieces of the cable so that they can't even be plugged in anymore. It's like, no, please stop helping. All right, so.
Oh my God, bunch of amateurs here.
Teddy and John, successful. This takes you about, we'll say, with the 20 minutes remaining, this takes approximately 15. Antique, you've drawn quite a crowd with your rallying, we'll say. You're rallying everybody to be excited about the fashion show. And meanwhile, we'll say over the next 5 minutes, Lucian and Eclipse, I'll give you a chance to interact, or we can accelerate time.
It's just dawned on me, Eclipse. We have never really had a chance to actually chat.
No, because I've always been busy trying to keep the front, covered.
And the front is very much covered, so you clearly do good work. Do you enjoy your your role at Phantasme?
It's definitely a lot better than my previous job. I will say that.
No, that is reassuring to hear. I appreciate you joining us on this. Are you okay?
Just worried about Amarantha.
I must admit, I wasn't aware the two of you had a connection.
We've gone on a couple of dates, and hooked up quite a few times.
Oh. I was certainly not aware of that.
We try to keep it on the down low. Try not to let it really interfere with work. I still don't know how I got her, though, because I'm horrible at flirting. I really am.
That's the funny thing about her. She just sort of showed up in my life as well, and I can relate to how you feel, obviously from a different perspective, not romantically, but she's important.
Well, hopefully we can find out where she's at and kick some person's ass wherever she may be. If she's in any danger, I'm just going to let you and Teddy get the first couple of swings. Just let me finish it off. That's all I ask.
It's good to know she'll be in safe hands, should something happen.
Well, I would definitely make sure that all of you are in good hands.
Focus on yourself and her. I'll be fine.
Do you have any idea who might be after you?
Oh. Over my years, there's probably a large list of names. I can think of too many. And there's been many times before, and they've never gotten the fucking job done, so we'll see if they do this time.
Well, we'll definitely try to prevent it.
Just raise a glass of something he's not drinking, it's just for show. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Overly neon drinks. I was waiting for what are your intentions with my daughter?
That's what we were dying over was
Never too late.
my daughter. Oh my god,
Yep.
no! Food in here. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Giggles aside. We'll say at the end of the 5-minute period, Antique, you wrap your live stream as you realize the show's about to begin. And just as you hit the stop button, you hear her voice. You weren't supposed to interfere. We're supposed to let the video play. The stage begins to rise from the ground. The technical glitches are apparent. They were not able to sort them. These two humans, weak-willed. They were not able to fix the complex glitches provided by our distraction team.
Oops.
The video starts to play, but there's a short somewhere. Another electrical spark. It crackles, and the screen fizzles out. At first, the music continues until static crackles, and one of the speakers appears to have shorted out as well. Who knows how many cables you damaged back there? Awkward silence. There's an empty stage. No lights, no video, no music, but suddenly the atmosphere of the room changes. every eye is turned away from you, Antique, from where you're standing, and toward the figure in the crowd, making her way through. Phaedra, who plucks the same human that you fed from earlier out of the crowd, leading her up on stage. Outside the party, these media outlets that were covering the event, some of the press has managed to make their way inside. There's a few flashes of camera bulbs. Definitely at least one video camera rolling on the scene. Phaedra appears to be influencing the crowd. Every eye is turned toward her in this moment as she walks out on center stage, trembling. She holds this woman's hand, and the woman by her side appears to be like interested, like flattered even that she would be led up on stage, until she turns and looks at Phaedra in the face, and the smile drops. As the camera rolls on Phaedra Aperon, she gives this woman a guilty look before turning, staring directly into the camera, and saying in a voice somehow supernaturally enhanced to be more compelling to every single person in this room, perhaps the entire outdoor space, "This is not a dream." She wrenches this woman's hair back and sinks her fangs into her neck, biting deep. She doesn't appear intent on stopping. The woman falls to the ground and she sinks to her knees. Her body goes pale very quickly. Any vampire in the crowd would recognize when someone has been drained to the point of death. She drops the corpse to the ground at zero hunger. She parts a slit in her dress, pulling out a knife, looks into the camera once again. This is not a dream. As she holds the dagger aloft, you all would see the glint of a wooden handle. She slashes her throat from one end to the other. The blood she just drank pouring down her body. She's losing a lot of blood very quickly. She slumps to the stage. This pool of blood grows larger around the two of them. No one appears to know how to react at first. There's quiet. And then a few whispers, murmurs, horrified gasps, and that camera is still rolling.
Is it worth a try to shoot it from a distance, the camera? As from far enough of a distance, I clearly see what's happening, and I would like to try to at least pull my firearm from a distance and make sure that I can steady my aim, because there's nothing else happening, and just fire one shot.
You can add your quick draw specialties, so this would be dexterity and firearms. Instead of 5 for you, this would be a pool of 6. The DC is high.
It's worth a try.
Can I get the help action?
Okay, here it goes. I know he didn't want to interfere, but it is how it is. Okay. 110. Second 10. A 7. A 6. And then a 3 and a 2.
That would be 6 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yum.
You can't know for sure how much was seen by a public audience. You would estimate that they watched this grotesque vision for approximately 15 seconds before the bullet lands in the camera. And even broadcasting to a live audience, there is still the matter of this present audience. Humans that watch this happen.
Okay, Antique definitely runs forward, since it would be something a reporter, whatever type, is doing, so that wouldn't create suspicion. So she runs forward and is like, and checking on her. I assume the girl's dead. So
The human is dead.
I'll most of my firearm again and just not disappear, but just step back far enough out of vision from the crowd and just whisper through the earpiece. It's kind of up to you guys. Figure something out. I already did something that we discussed not to. So
you hear a message back. Way in the back, there was a movie called Weekend with Bernie's or something. We could pretend the girl's still alive and we usher her out, and Fedra should be still able to walk, I hope.
Antique, that's actually a really good movie. I agree with you. Worth a try.
How far away am I from the stage?
We'll just say about 25 feet.
Can I get up there to see, like, to help? Like a concerned, make it look like I'm a concerned person. But
If
I want to know.
see Antique moving through the crowd, yeah, you could feasibly join her.
Cool. I want to do a medicine check to see if she is dead or just in torpor.
All right. So for Antique and Teddy, let's make this intelligence plus medicine. For you, Antique, it would just be intelligence.
Number 5. Yeah. This nice 5 this time. Cool. Oh, that's exploding. Okay, cool. Cool. What are these 3? A 9. I got an exploding and 2 additional successes. So 6.
So a critical success plus 2 successes. Okay, all right, 6 successes. That's pretty good. Antique.
I have a 10 and an 8. I only have 2 dice on intelligence.
That's 2 successes. So dead human looks different than dead kindred to you, Antique. So the human is pale and already the color is drained from every inch of their face. The death-like sleep that happens when kindred lose a lot of blood appears to be what Phaedra is in. Teddy, you would notice this as well, but also the knife that she's holding, you might recognize where it came from.
Oh boy.
The wooden handle. If that had gone a little bit further into her neck, or worse, toward her heart, she might really be dead.
That keeps Teddy out, especially with that particular piece. You said I might recognize where it's from, or do I actually recognize where it's from?
Specifically, the wooden handle, you would recognize it as a product of the same shop where you buy your knives.
Whoa, that's not good, fam.
Which you might have gifted to your child.
Wait, did you just say that this is a knife that I gifted to my child?
Yes.
What the fuck is she doing with my child's? Teddy is immediately going to take that knife, strap it into her holster.
All right.
And then she's
Lucian, you had something you also wanted to do.
Yeah, so while all this is happening, Lucian's remaining seated at the table with Eclipse. And I am looking around the room. I want to see who is too calm, too collected, or if anyone is just quietly leaving. I am looking for people that stand out in that particular sense. People that were there to witness that.
Okay.
It was on a stream.
True.
But these kind of things, there is someone in the room guaranteed.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. I'll make this wits and awareness, instincts and sight. So, yeah, you can add your specialty since you're trying to perceive. So that would be a total of 5 dice for you.
Woo! We like that. Let's do that.
Go, Vamp Dad, go.
Okay, welcome back, Vamp Dad. So I got a 1,
Mm-hmm.
and I got 4 10s.
Wow.
We're
8
back, baby.
total successes.
We're
Welcome
back,
back,
baby.
Vamp Dad.
Welcome back, Vamp Dad.
All right.
That first roll was just a fluke. It was.
Yes. There are a few people in the audience, but some of them seem concerned. A few of them have pulled out their cellular devices and appear to be contacting EdTech. Some have noticed the press. Some of them are already being interviewed by perhaps a colleague or two of Antiques, saying, "You were here live on the scene, witness to this awful event. What were you thinking?" People trying to grab their 15 minutes of fame from this. Toward the front entrance, the most public entrance, one that you all did not take, that Antique did, you would see a rather tall figure. You'd recognize an impeccable dress sense where you see one. He's watching from a distance, and I'm going to make a quick roll here. Okay. It's been a long time. He's surveying the scene quietly, the same way that you are. He does look up. He catches your eye. And in that moment, it's a face you haven't seen in 100 years, maybe more. He touches a finger to his nose, turning to depart, but in that instant, you are able to recall the face of Acheron, Indigo's world traveler friend, that came to your aid so long ago. Given that he's right by the entrance, he turns and departs rather quickly. Other than that, everyone else is in varying degrees of shock. Some do seem more calm than others, but that could possibly be just a numb, dissociative reaction to seeing such brutal death happen on such a public setting. And that's what you get with 8 successes.
Oh boy. So I think the first reaction is finger goes up to the earpiece, and we'll speak down it, mainly at Teddy, but everyone will hear it, and he will just say, Acheron.
It's here?
He was. He's just left.
Is that something I would know? Is that a public figure or something? Does it trigger anything, or is it just like, what the fuck?
You have no idea who they're talking about.
Okay.
Is this an acquaintance of yours? Do you hear back?
I think my past is catching up with me. I will stand up.
Are we leaving?
I will stand up. I will look at Eclipse. I'll just nod.
So no Bernies?
I will make my way to that exit, attempting to follow.
Okay, we are skipping. We're leaving Fedra here. We just leave. We don't do anything.
We didn't break the masquerade. We're good.
Nope.
She's not dead.
We can take her.
Awfully confident.
As far as I understand, if we feed her, she should come back, right?
That is what many of you are led to believe. Yes, it's feasible that if you feed her blood, she could come back.
If we were to take her with us through the back
There's
entrance.
no way we're getting her out of this media circus right now.
Not like this.
Nope.
Fuck.
I'll say
Fuck.
from a distance, the sound of more cars pulling up, both hovering and standard 4-wheel drive. And June, you do hear sirens.
As much as I think we should leave.
Yeah.
This is. I can only do so much here. And think fast, guys. As much as we didn't break anything,
I would like to swipe Fedra's phone or whatever device she has. Since I'm leaning over them, and from the girl, so both things will end up in my pocket.
All right, you take her phone.
Okay.
And Eclipse is going to try to stay with Lucian as well, since he's getting up and dashing out.
Antique will do a really short thing. She won't show the bodies or anything, but I think she needs to do a little clip for her station. Just, oh my god, blah.
Oh my gosh, you
and send it
guys.
to the producer. Oh my gosh, you guys, something happened. It's so bloody. Like, OMG.
Here's
Make sure
the
you
tea.
like, share, and subscribe for all the nitty-gritty details.
Subscribe.
As soon as
Hit that bell.
as soon as the live stream Teddy has whooped, got the fuck out, not being seen on a live stream.
Yep. All right.
This murder-suicide is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
and Raycons.
Now in
Oh
its
my God.
120th year.
Somehow we fucking survived.
Also, in between, I'm letting you guys know that the original thing was recorded, as Bridget told us. So,
Yep.
so you all have that knowledge.
Yeah.
So, aware that approximately 15 seconds of a serious masquerade breach was broadcast to an audience of perhaps millions, we're going with these two paths. Lucian, you're heading where with Eclipse again? Remind me.
I'm going where I saw Acheron going.
Okay.
Oh, the front door.
Out the front door. And Teddy, Antique, John, are you taking Fedra? Are you leaving? Which way are you leaving?
We can't take her.
Okay.
I would like to, but unless June, could you pretend? No, they're gonna bring the whole, police shebang. So we can't take her unless Fedra stands up now, and then she's in custody, and you could take her.
With a deep sigh, June just looks up for a second. Fuck.
I mean, Teddy, you have the blood bags. If we create a distraction,
I have a question.
Yes.
In order to revive her from torpor, does she have to have her kind of feeding, or could I give her a blood bag?
You can feed her any way you want. Just matters that blood gets in her system.
All right.
through the neck.
Yes, babe.
Yes.
I have something that I'd like to try if it will help me close the distance on Acheron to be able to follow where he goes.
Sure.
I would like to use Compel on like the first like official people, like guards outside, that are like dealing with the crowds that are no doubt trying to rush in to get a glimpse. I want to use Compel, and as I stare deep into their eyes, I will just say, "Clear me a path."
Okay. Let's see. You are addressing a crowd of mostly humans. Now, you don't have a mass ability to compel people, so compel is sort of a one and done type deal. It can affect one person in your immediate vicinity.
That's fine. As long as someone can be like, move out of the way. You know, important person come through.
Give me a charisma and dominate.
All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, and then dominate. It's 4. Okay, that is 2 10s, an 8, and a 4.
Wow.
4 successes. 5.
5
Very
successes.
nice. 5 successes. All right. You do manage to clear a path. Turning the corner. This is a rather long driveway, but it's been cleared for tonight's event. There are no cars blocking your path, but while there is a rustling in the bushes, you could attribute that to the evening breezes blowing by. It seems he's disappeared, but you do get a text on your phone from an unknown number. Better luck next time, Liebchen.
I think it'll be a silent chuckle to himself. And since his phone's in his hand, he will text the number to Teddy and just say, ping this. Let's find the son of a bitch. Knowing he's probably already ditched the phone, but, you know.
Before this happens, since he takes a moment to go outside,
Mm-hmm.
Do we want her or not?
It's too late.
I have an idea.
And
I have an idea. Teddy, hold the blood ready. June, you need to make an arrest. If you're successful. Okay, so what I'm imagining, either there are tables with fabrics, there's fabric somewhere, whatever, and I'm using my my manipulation, I can't speak English, and I'll gonna convince a couple of people to take those, cover the scenes, no one has to see this, dignity, whatever, and hope that we are kind of getting like a visual, like almost like a tent around it.
An alternate, if you're trying to convince people to just forget this ever happened, perhaps?
That's only for one person.
Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to do is, in my reluctance to assert the NCPD vibe, the badge that I have has like one of those clips that you would flip into your pocket where it actually shows the information. Fake or not, doesn't matter. I'm like, folks, this is an NCPD problem now. Please clear the room, make a space.
I mean, I can literally help with that, make them go away, but we would need to cover it visually so we can do whatever. Otherwise, people see it.
I don't care what you're scrolling. That's a problem for your boss. Please leave.
For Antique, one power that is more universal is awe. If you'd like to get people's attention for this sole purpose of driving them back and away, I'll allow you to use that. So we'll say that this crowd is mostly human at this point. Most of them are willing to listen to what you're saying. As more cars roll up outside, including one with very telltale flashing lights, John, and let's see, what do I want to make this?
Should I do it? Should I do it?
Okay, this might not be a very big pool, but let's say composure and subterfuge, which for you would just be 3 in composure.
So just 3?
Yes.
Okay. No worries. Okay. Well, that is 110 and 2 failures.
1 success. All right. I think hearing shouts of "this is an NCPD problem" does turn a few heads exiting the police cars. There is still a sizable throng of people making their way toward the exit. It's possible that if you were to exit at this point, you could essentially Trojan horse blend in with the crowd, get away from there, and avoid detection, but we will come back to this. So this all is happening in the span of a few minutes, I'll say. That Teddy, Eclipse, and John will come back to you. Sorry, I'm mixing names up. Lucian and Eclipse. Still outside. Lucian, you wanted to have Teddy ping the unknown phone number. Anything else you and Eclipse wanted to do while you're outside in this area? You would notice the cars coming in, the people that are rapidly exiting the venue. What would you like to do?
I think try and make ourselves scarce, like maybe head out a block and then around with the intention of circling back round to the back of the building where I assume the rest of the group will make their way out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eclipse, this might be a good role for you. In order to find the best way around the building, Eclipse, give me intelligence and streetwise.
2 successes.
Okay, mitigated results. You're able to lead Lucian through say a back alley that's rather cramped. It's a little distasteful perhaps for Lucian's refined viewpoint, but you manage to hold your nose and make your way through onto the other side.
Like it. I don't like it.
All right, so Lucian, Eclipse making their way back to the car. All right, John, maintaining this charade that you're the first responding officer on the scene.
Unfortunately, it seems.
All right, Teddy and Antique, what are we doing?
Like I said, I want to figure out if we can cover at least so no one can see what's happening, because you can't just feed a person blood in public.
Okay. If you'd like to perhaps find a tarp to cover both of them up with on the stage.
No, what I thought is that I actually have a couple of humans holding up fabrics around them, almost like a tent.
Okay, all right. You recruit some of the event staff to hold
that's
okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do with the awe. Not get people out just to cover the scene.
Okay.
All right. No one has to see this. This is bad enough. Blah blah blah. So.
We will say that the human event staff are a bit too overwhelmed, but they're willing to do what you say, protect the identity of the 2 seemingly dead bodies that they have no idea what's going on for, but you managed to conceal what's going on stage. Teddy, what are you doing?
Am I being watched, or is the blankets above their head?
Sure. Yeah, if you're still on stage, you would be concealed behind the blankets.
She's gonna look at Antique because she only has 1 blood bag in her bag. If I waste my food for this,
I'll get you more. Promise. I have stuff. I have blood on standby.
In bags? As she rips it open and tries to start
If you want it in bags, we will fill it in bags first. Is that okay?
And in the background, you just hear, folks, it seems that we just had a cyber cycle attack.
You hear that like whisper over the earpiece, everybody.
Oh, she has hers open, so Lucian.
Oh yeah, everyone can.
Yeah.
Her last blood bet.
Oh yeah.
So Dad knows that she's gonna be hungry.
Guys, we don't have long.
All right.
So she is pouring this down the open gash, like literally, like.
Can you also hold her throat so it's not coming out directly?
Yeah,
They make a Pez dispenser out of her. Okay.
Listen, it's the most open and it's slashed. So the
First weekend at Bernie's, then reverse Pez dispenser. You guys are on a roll.
That's the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Just combine it. Reverse weekend at Bernie's.
Oh my god.
Party Pez dispenser.
All right. We'll say this takes a few more minutes, perhaps more time than you have, but it's incredibly messy. So at first, because of the blood that's staining her throat, it's hard to tell when the wound begins to close. But eventually, you clear enough of it away to realize that the wound on her throat has closed, but she surfaces back to life. Her eyes look feral because she's returning at Hunger 4.
Oh.
More so, she looks hungry, and as you watch Teddy and Antique, her face starts to decay. Her skin puckers. It looks porous almost. Starts dripping practically. It's a horrifying visage.
Maybe use
Get
the wood
fuck
again.
outta here. Nope. Now. Out the fucking door. Right now. Right the fuck now. Leave her here. Get out. Now.
She's breathing in these bestial exhales, just run.
Teddy does. Like immediately grab.
Oh yeah, we are
tilt. Like she has a gun pointed behind
Yeah,
her.
Sam. I make sure to
Like,
draw my weapon.
pointed at her to make sure that if she comes, she's getting loaded with any whatever is in her gun at the moment. There's
She seems
keep the woods
beyond
ready.
sense enough so that she leans in and attempts to bite the deceased corpse beneath her, attempting to feed on whatever blood is left. Antique, you see this happen. She looks out of her mind with hunger.
Can we knock out the vampire?
I mean, if we do, she's gonna go back into torpor. I could hit her.
Fuck it,
I
I don't
shoot her.
care. I at this point I don't care. I point blank, almost execution style
Okay.
against her, and I pull the trigger. I don't care.
Okay.
Then stake her.
Instinct is fight.
You are at close range. You don't need to roll for this. The shot goes through her head. She collapses to the ground. But from outside, Lucian and Eclipse, you hear a gunshot.
Oh boy.
Oh, fuck.
Immediately, Teddy's like, "It wasn't me."
I was really hoping we can ask her. God damn it.
Get to the fucking car.
We need to
It
get
is
They're
out.
coming.
Already on it.
All right.
Leave now.
I'm actually using the front entrance since that's where she came from.
Okay.
Then I'll
Teddy's
take
full-
with Teddy. I'll keep
Also-
my firearm at the ready still, but
Pretending
Backing up
to do her vlog or whatever, and then oh my god, shots, and then she runs hysterically outside.
Okay.
out of curiosity, have I ever seen this happen before? Like something like this ever?
Yes.
Because it depends on my reaction, most likely.
You have seen this happen before. Some kindred, when they reach a certain level of hunger, they start to revert to who they were when they died, to a corpse that walks.
As Teddy and I make our way at like a solid, well, I would almost not say sprint, but third sprint, like, what the fuck was that? What the actual fuck?
She's she's just more in a state of shock. So she's literally just running. It is just pure instinct of get to dad. Dad will know what to do. Get to dad. That is the only mantra she has going in her head right now is get to dad.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, like, because you can, if you look at her, she is just blank. There's no expression. There's like, all you can see are her eyes. Her eyes are larger than normal to begin with, are very buggy. They're just wide.
Okay, so we have Teddy and John making their way toward the back entrance. Antique, you mentioned you were using the front in order to navigate around the building and back toward the car. I am going to need intelligence streetwise.
I'll actually let them know I'll meet them at the club since she can use other means of transportation.
Sure, all right.
If we're heading to the club. So you guys can leave without waiting.
Okay, so you relay this over the headset.
Yeah.
Now would probably be a good time to take our bio break.
I need to pee.
And so much to discuss when we return.
Oh, hi, QJs. Sorry to interrupt your broadcast. It's me. I've been here the whole time. Oh, wait, no, that's Sam Reich, not me. Just a quick little thing just to say, if you haven't done so already, can I do this yet? Squeeze my finger down here, this little follow and subscribe. Give that a little shot. Because we here at Question Keys need your support. And as a special little extra thing, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you get one free Prime subscription every single month that you can give to one of your favorite creators. And we here at Question Keys would be thrilled if you would consider lending us your Prime subscription. Or just a normal subscription if you fancy that. You will get access to lots of fancy emotes and things like that, and you will be helping Question Keys with their content creation, supporting us in our future creative endeavors, which basically accounts to bringing you more memes, you know, that kind that you love, in the form of comedic yet sometimes arousing storytelling. Yeah, that sounds about right. So yes, if you haven't done so already, please do consider giving us a follow and a subscribe. And yes, I will stop interrupting your fantastic Question Keys content. What's on at the minute? Oh, this is a good one. It's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, enjoy. Oh, Bad and the Beautiful, even better. Yeah, go check that out. It's really, really cool. So yeah, until next time, friends.
First, I'm going to pick back up with Antique. You managed to outrun the throng of curious onlookers, press, cop cars. You work your way through the streets. Do you have a destination in mind, or are you just trying to get away for now?
Get away and then regroup. I assume we go back to the club. I assume we talked about it, so...
You mentioned that you were going to meet everybody back at the club because you have your own means of transportation. And... let's say you get about 2-3 blocks down the road into the corporate plaza. Lots of skyscrapers. It's easier to blend in here. We'll say... You're arranging a different mode of transportation when a car pulls up right alongside where you're standing. The color is familiar to you. It's a glaring red in the same style as Lucian's limousine, but that color, you know that color. The window rolls down and you hear a voice from inside.
Saw you on the evening news, and I must say, you looked immaculate, but care to explain all that happened at the party?
The door opens.
Okay, who is it?
That is the voice of your sire.
Oh, I figured. Well, how much time do you have, and could you give me a ride?
Can't be too far, I imagine. Go on, let's catch up.
And
Okay.
for the sake of brevity, we're going to say that like they have this conversation as you are being given a ride back to the club. I've given him a name.
I'm curious.
It's not Alistair.
He's
not?
Killian.
Ooh, I like it.
Killian with a K. Killian.
Wait, does
I
that
was
mean
hoping
next?
for a K.
Does that mean next session Killian Murphy's guest starring?
I'm just picturing Killian Murphy doing Alistair from Husband Hotel.
I
Yeah.
mean, I would be all for it.
Absolutely. But yes, so this conversation takes place off screen and we reconnect in the hover car. What becomes readily apparent is that Teddy's hands are covered in blood. Car pulls away from the event.
I look Teddy in the eyes and I say to her, Teddy, look at me. Focus. What the fuck just happened?
She is literally just like, her hands are shaking and she can't. Her eyes are darting, looking around for Lucian. She won't focus on anything until she actually sees him.
I think Lucian is sat across, but will like stand up and sit next to you. Will reach into his inside pocket and pull out one of his monogrammed handkerchiefs with the LO in fancy calligraphy and just start calmly wiping her hands, not saying anything.
I gave her the blood. She tried to rip my face off.
She didn't try, she would almost just have succeeded.
She told me to run.
And I turn around towards Lucian like, clearly just letting it run didn't exactly help us, did it?
Well, something happened.
It appears that something more happened than just something.
She was
Clearly.
hungry.
That bitch turned.
I gave her my blood. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything. You can
The good
see
thing
that
is
she's
that.
escalating and just panicking.
Mhm. Well, one thing is for certain. I took care of it, so that's at least one thing. At least for now, it seems that it's taken care of.
GM, question.
But we didn't.
Given Lucian's advanced age in comparison to the rest of the coterie, would he know any like historical insight into what happened there?
For this, let's see. Ooh, okay, this is a decent roll. You have a specialty in history, so you can add that to your pool of intelligence and academics, focusing specifically on history. So that would be a pool of 5 for you.
Pool of 5. Oh. Okay. 4 successes, 1 crit.
Okay.
Nice, Vamp Dad.
Lowest was a
5
7.
successes. Let's see. You did hear his voice earlier today. This dates back to as far back as you can remember. The court at Versailles. Those that Lennox turned that never really came out right on the other side of death. When they hungered, they reverted to their natural state, which, if you believe the religious dogma, is a walking, waking corpse. Their skin melted, their eyes, their hunger turned them feral. They were kindred, but they were starved. And when they starved, they most closely resembled the corpse.
So I think he'll like put an arm around Teddy and like hold her in close into like a half hug, like, you know, like compressing her to try and help her calm down. And he'll just say, not everyone comes back from torpor the same. Sometimes torpor takes you for good. Not everyone's as fortunate as some. Some don't come back at all. And then there's some that something else comes back. You were right to try. But we can't win every time. It's okay, T.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault.
No. We did not breach the masquerade. But somebody did, and somebody wanted to. There is a bigger play at work here. Someone wants me at the center of it. And when old faces show up, there's too many coincidences for my liking.
I have to find out where he went.
It doesn't matter for now. It doesn't matter for now. You matter for now. Collect yourself, take as much time as you need. We're going back to the club, we'll regroup. And then we have other matters.
Joey thinks someone's trying to kill him.
He's a fool, but maybe he's onto something. Perhaps we're all targets. Think about it. Someone's trying to put me in the center of something. Someone takes Amaranth off the board. Someone's trying to kill Joey.
She holds the knife, like she loosely grabs it and hands it to Lucian. I gave this to Jules. This was his.
So someone's trying to get you on the board as well. We need everyone. So we get back to the club. And then we go and we get our girl. And we go from there.
I'm scared.
Good. Being scared keeps you going. Keeps you aware. Keeps you focused. Hold on to that. And I know we had this conversation before, and I know it's not a conversation you wanted to have, but if we can't get Amaranth back, and there'll be a quick glance over to Eclipse before looking back at Teddy, then my legacy is you. I know you don't want that. So for now, it's not about deserving. One step at a time. We should be at the club shortly. You can do this.
And before we reach the club, Eclipse. Give me a wits and awareness check.
A 3.
3 successes?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's something about everything you've been seeing, hearing, all starting to sound a little familiar. The knowledge that the video you saw everyone talking about it, you heard the mention of the brain dance. Starting to remind you of the reason why you left your job at the Afterlife. You sit with that knowledge, and how does it make you feel?
As she is thinking about everything and how everything is starting to slowly click for her, she has this disgust of like, fuck, this is in a sense happening again. She'd rather not happen again. And it's very apparent on her face that she has that look of disgust.
All right.
Okay, first of all, Afterlife. Ooh, okay.
Yep. That is her old club.
Okay. I'm starting to put things together now. While we're in the car, I want to check those scream sheets to see what they're saying.
All right. Let's see what's hot off the presses. The first 2 or 3 immediate headlines are about the disaster that's occurred. One of them is from a known conspiracy website suspecting it had everything to do with aliens, to shadow governments, to lizard people, to reincarnation of Bigfoot. That's a new one. That's kind of deep cut for this generation in Night City. The other 2, one of them you would recognize as a subsidiary of the Kindred network within Arasaka, known only as Fang. I did not name it last time, I realized. It's not so much a news article as it is a somewhat similar to an APB. Anyone with information regarding the disastrous launch of the deceased Fedra Aperon is encouraged to come forward by order of Vex, the Prince of the Camarilla in Night City. The other article is just a standard account of what happened. The strange gaps in the events of the evening, the 2 bodies that were recovered from the stage, one of them revealed to be Phaedra, although police were confused by the decomposed nature of her corpse. The other revealed her name is insignificant, but she is revealed to have been a known manufacturer of brain dances.
That is so random.
Notable insofar as the police struggled to identify the bodies, they say that the second individual, Phaedra, was too decomposed to discern much about her appearance, but the second individual had an upside-down tattoo
Of the
an
letter A.
on their wrist. And that is what's hot off the presses on the scream sheets. You are all pulling up outside of Phantasma now, by the way. We'll say that we're in the other car. Antique, you had a productive conversation with Killian, left with the advice to... Killian was able to recall that Fedra belonged to the Toreadors. Killian advised you to be wary of the Clan of the Rose. Their intentions can be the most deceitful of all, given their love of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, beauty is only skin deep. Ta-ta for now, darling.
2 questions before he leaves. Could I have also asked about the transformation stuff? Similar answer.
Let me do a quick check here.
Rolling.
Ooh.
Keep them dices rolling.
Killian has some idea of what you mean. It's all a rather sordid affair, but he essentially describes the corpse walkers, those known as when you get hungry. He thinks it's a little bit different from when you get hangry versus when other vampires get hangry. When they get hangry, they get scary. They get brutal. That's essentially how he describes it to you. But yes, he does have some idea about that. And your other question?
So it's similar to, it doesn't have to be when they're coming back. It doesn't give me the same answer. It's always like violence and decomposing, or it's just from case to case.
It is. He explains that after, the longer some vampires go without blood, the more they give in to their nature of, we'll say necrosis is the word that he uses.
Okay, so since we're in a red limo, and he has some influence. So, I have a question. Do you have a bag? A black bag? I kind of promised it to someone else, and before I walk around and actually get it back and fill blood in it, I thought maybe there's one in the fridge I can borrow.
He pulls out a button from his coat pocket, clicks it, and a section of the limo opens up to reveal a chilled fridge. Full of frosted blood. They are labeled.
Old vintage.
They have different colored tags on them, depending on what flavors are preferable. You would recall from the woman that you fed on at the club, hers was an excitable flavor, so that flavor would be known as sanguine. Those are labeled as red.
I need something more chilling, I think. It needs to be a bit calming. It was very stressful in there. Yeah.
Perfect. How many would you like?
Episode. Okay.
Oh, I only needed 1, but if you can give me 2, I hope they'll forgive me for pulling them into it.
You walk away with 2 bottles of blood with 2 green labels on them. These are known as the happy flavor of blood, or phlegmatic.
Amazing, thank you.
Yep. So everyone else, the doors open outside of Phantasma. You see a rather elegant red limousine, not dissimilar to the one that Lucian owns. Just the color is startling. It slowly reverses, pulling away. And you see Antique.
Glad to see you made it.
You too? Should we go inside?
Let's have a conversation.
Good idea.
I'll head
Let's
in.
compare notes.
Head towards Lucian's office.
Mm-hmm. Teddy would have texted Joey. Be like, we're going back.
You would have gotten a response. Show's wrapping up. We rocked it hard. Chilling in the back. Found that private stash.
She just tilts her phone towards Lucian.
Wonders never cease.
I mean, at least he's alive.
He's doing better than I thought he would. I'm gonna be honest.
You do know that it has to do with me, right? You know he's alive. Because I protected that dumbass.
Well, yeah, he would have been dead over 100 years ago if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Are we in the office?
Heading inside, the pop-up show, Villa Bombters, appears that the crowd appears to have cleaned out. The place looks a bit of a mess, but the night janitorial crew, all humans, let themselves in order to take care of the aftermath of the surprising last-minute show. They, one of them is inside sweeping, the other is outside picking up bits of trash left behind by the excited concert goers. I believe the bar was instructed to close in the event of the show, so there are no more patrons, so you are all free and able to go back to Lucian's office.
All right.
Antique hands Teddy a one of the bottles. Keep it chilled or drink it now. It's the good stuff.
Now, Teddy, you're used to feeding from blood bags. This is chilled to perfection.
Where did you get this?
See of a friend. Don't have access often, but it was a very eventful evening. And I'll hand the other one to June, since I think you're traumatized too. So.
Well, not really, but I could definitely enjoy a sip, that's for sure. I'm not entirely done with you.
I love that.
You froze. You froze when you needed to act.
Okay.
This could have ended so much worse. What happened? Why? Because all that confidence earlier made it seem like you had a lot of experience with this.
No! What are you talking about? We didn't expect that to happen. No one of us has done that before.
I have never brought somebody back from torpor where they responded like that. So yeah, I didn't expect to get my face mauled off, and when I got told to run instead of dying, I ran because I'm taught to survive. Sorry I didn't pull the trigger so soon, but I would have.
Don't do this again. Act.
Do what?
Because next time, it will end us.
It wasn't Teddy's fault.
I do not care.
Okay.
Detective, Mind your tongue. You forget yourself.
My apologies. As far as the situation went, it went to shit.
I did my fucking job.
Fine.
You're lucky I had a blood bag on me to even try. Do you sit here and carry blood bags? Because I'm pretty sure that's me. So, before you get all high and mighty, maybe check yourself. I would hate to have something that you don't want to know end up someplace it shouldn't be.
Could we focus on what's happening and not do this?
Fine.
Because that's unnecessary, sorry. This doesn't help us blaming each other. Blame me, I had the idea. I was like, let's do this. Let's get her and ask her questions. So blame me.
None of that fucking matters. We look at the facts. There was a masquerade breach tonight. It was not us, but we did respond. Did we succeed? Not really. Does that matter? Not really. There is something bigger at play here. Someone is trying to, well, I don't know, it could be just blackmail, it could be straight up murder. But someone wants to take me down, and Teddy, and Mr. LeBompt out there. This is something that's clearly been at play since, well, Vegas.
Who'd be that pissed off at us to wait a century?
It's from one masquerade breach to the other. No one breaks the masquerade quite like we did.
True.
We had to escape to Night City.
Oh yeah, we fucked up
There
big time, but
a little bit of a history lesson for some of you. We were the first kindred to come here, officially.
Huh.
I had a contact at the time. I was aware of certain events that were about to transpire. You might remember a certain celebrity, not unlike Mr. LeBompt, but with a bit more grace, dare I say, a Johnny Silverhand. And the events that took place 2023. It was the perfect cover for us to slip in unnoticed. And we've been here ever since. And there are older...
You built this city, or...?
No, absolutely not. I am an inside man. Always have been. Always will be. It's the best way to know your enemy.
Can you tell me more about the Clan of the Rose? Because I picked up a thing. I'm curious, do you have any connections to them?
Jid,
In fact, both of you do.
that's so. She immediately, as soon as she hears it, you can see her pull out her phone. What did you do? And send.
Who are you texting?
Indigo.
Oh!
Okay. Resolving this in, this is going to be a two-parter. Lucian, you did know someone from the Clan of the Rose. Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
She was a Toreador.
That was the other one that she was going to message afterwards. But she couldn't remember if Kitty... I couldn't remember if Kitty was or not. I knew she was a Toreador, but I couldn't remember what clan she was. Thought she
Also,
was
Kitty was not good with tech, so Kitty... I don't even know if Kitty would have a phone.
It's
she
true.
did.
Yeah.
She has one. Teddy taught her how to use it. Only for calling. She would call Kitty. She would not text her.
You get a text back from Indigo saying, if this has anything to do with tonight, you might be barking up the wrong tree. Tremere we're nowhere near this.
Pity. And she replies back, pity. And then calls. She calls.
Kitty. Okay. All right.
Come on in, Scarlet.
Yeah.
I wish.
Scarlet, if you see this, I'm so sorry.
We love you.
We love you, Scarlet. Scarlet, we love you. And I just wanted Kitty back because they're fun.
You hear a quiet voice on the other end of the line, almost as though you would answer the phone like this. She's holding it upside down. Now, I know that isn't Teddy, but it's been nearly a century, darling. You don't call, you don't write. Well, my feelings are just hurt.
Kitty, I love you. I call you like once a month to make sure you aren't dead.
It's been ages since then. Oh, we're doing fabulously here out in the country. I think you would love it sometime. Get away from that city. Oh, it's so infested with rats and vermin and all that technology. Oh, it was one of the vapors just to think about it.
Kitty, you know that technology is where I'd love to be. But I have a question for you.
Well, what's that now?
We had a masquerade breach by a toreador in the Clan of the Rose.
Well, I admit I haven't kept up to date with local kindred politics. We've been so busy here. What manner of breach was it? How serious was it?
Bad. Really bad. They killed a human on stage, trying to broadcast a different masquerade breach.
You tasted delicious, by the way.
And then slit their throat. And then tried to eat my face.
Oh dear. And you say the toreador were responsible?
She was a toreador, so I'm trying to see if you have any more information. Anybody I can reach out to or track down or...
So, there's a moment of silence. She appears to be contemplating. Well, she appears to be talking with someone else in the background, asking, "Oh, do you think? No, it couldn't be. No, that was so long ago. Ritual sacrifice. This is the only one that's happened."
There was another masquerade breach they were trying to broadcast at the event.
Yes, well, can you give me a bit more detail? Anything significant about the kills?
An upside down letter A on every victim.
Silence. Oh, by golly. We interrupted them last time. A century later, perhaps they've come seeking their revenge. You remember the cult?
The one who wanted blue?
And who tried to take Amarantha, as I recall?
No.
Oh dear. You've all gotten yourselves into a mighty fine bit of trouble.
This makes so much more sense now because they are trying to fuck us all. Okay. Do you remember who was leading the cult at the time last time?
And you say leading the cult out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone hears the mention of a cult, including Antique. This is happening pretty much... We'll say the hallway to Lucian's office is exceptionally long. So, conversation continues. Well, I never found out who was leading that wild bunch, but I recalled who was it? Your sister had some connection with the all of them before they threw her out. She's still around by any chance?
What was her name? Desiree?
Desiree, and as you can recall, Teddy, Jude disappeared from that room, but so did Desiree.
Fuck.
Well, I'm not certain how many of my contacts survived from those days, but I'll see about reaching out. Perhaps my daddy's legacy still holds some weight around kindred kind, but if I find out anything new, I'll let you know, darling, okay?
Thanks, Kitty. I love you. Be safe.
All right, I'll talk to you again soon sometime, darling. The phone, she's like muttering about how do you end the call, and then
Teddy clicks the end button for her.
Oh.
Yep. All right, everyone. You've heard some mention of a cult.
Dad,
Who calls themselves a cult?
we've got a big problem.
What do you mean?
From what I briefly heard, I think I can put two and two together.
Care to inform the rest of us?
Everything connects back to Vegas. 111
So
years
not
ago.
everything stays in Vegas.
Apparently
I
not.
hated that.
Fuck.
Kitty's gonna look into it, see what she can find out for us about the corridors here, and then she'll get back to me. Which means I will probably have to call her, but, you know.
I mean, June and I can also do some research with other connections to other places additionally.
I might definitely
Like-
want to reach out to a contact at the NCPD, a former captain of mine, but the best I can do actually is to make the disappear or less.
Antique was also Antique was also scrolling through the news outlets and stuff and just seeing what's out there. And I also heard the whole brain dance stuff and manufactured. I had no idea. She wasn't the daughter, she was actually the manufacturer, right?
She worked for a company that is known to manufacture brain dances.
So she just worked. She wasn't like the owner.
She wasn't the leader or anything.
Okay, good. Isn't that like curious? I don't know much about that, so maybe Teddy, you know more because of technology, or June, you could look up. Is there anything in that? There seems to be a connection.
Oh, clearly.
What doesn't go in my head is I bet on her, and then she ends up on stage.
That is not coincidence.
How? Why?
Do we know what company it is that she works for?
They don't tend to have companies. They tend to be employed by singular dealers or dispensers of brain dances. So if you were to follow up on this lead, you would want to search for brain dance dealers in the area.
We need, if you want to go down that route, we need a brain dance. Because they all have a signature. You find the signature, you find the dealer.
I would assume there's something at the station for sure.
It's possible.
Could be.
Different question. The inverted A, it's a tattoo, or is it like something added to the person?
It appears to be a tattoo.
Okay, so it was there before she went to the party. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It is at this point, now that we've reached the end of this especially long hallway, Lucian, you open the door to your office. Not to use a cliche, but several things become apparent at once. There's a small, tinny version of a... Is that Joey LeBompt? A mashup appearing to be playing from a phone left on your desk. It's unfamiliar to you, but as Teddy, you enter behind Lucian. You've seen that phone before. Next to it is an envelope. The song continues to play as all of you file into this office. No one else is in there.
Is the envelope addressed to me?
It doesn't appear to be addressed to anybody, but the writing scrawled on it says, "Regards." And on the other side, an upside down A, notably not written, drawn in blood.
Nice.
Do I recognize the
Everyone-
handwriting?
No.
Everyone, stay back. Stay by the door. Lucian's gonna slowly walk over to the desk, sit down, and he'll pick up the letter. Half expecting it to explode.
It does
Right.
not explode.
Mhm.
It's rather old-fashioned, in fact. It appears to be a manila envelope. Analog, as Teddy would say. Opening it, you find 3 glossy, developed photos, appearing to have been developed by hand, and more analog.
I like this person.
The color, the definition is sharp. Even for a security camera's feed. Owned by someone in this room. It's a hospital room. It shows the back of someone's head holding an open hand over her mouth. You can see blood smeared around her lips. There are 3 total photographs. The second appears to be a company directory. Not taken from a screen, rather written in typeface on non-distinct paper. Someone didn't want this paper to be traced. It is a list of names, of your names, but also a few familiar faces. Ones you haven't seen in some time. Acheron is on the list. The last photograph before we conclude things for this evening. Slightly less detailed than the first 2 images, but you would recognize this individual. And in fact, as you hold out the photo, examining it, Getty would too. You drop it to the desk so that everyone can see. John, Eclipse, Antique. To you, this looks like Teddy. Dressed differently. Head to toe sweats. The background is indistinct, but the most notable difference between this image and Teddy is the third eye on her forehead. John, you've seen modifications before. This is not a cybernetic implant. This is a part of this person's anatomy. And that is where we're going to conclude things for this evening, but one last treat before we go. few pulls away, and the only thing we see is an answering machine with the play button pressed.
One of these.
Yes. The message begins playing. You hear someone clearing their throat. Scene slowly fades to black as you hear. You're getting closer to the truth, darlings. Hope you won't forget me along the way. But especially the big man on campus, Lucian. Calm down. I'm here now. It's going to be okay.
I ask one more time. Lucian, what's happening?
What's going on?
If I'm wrong about this, and I hope I am, and I hope you can forgive me for what I'm about to do.
Dad?
I'm going to turn around.
No, Dad, don't.
Lucian,
I'm going to place my hand on her throat.
Your hands dig in, and everyone else would hear the crunch.
The first mistake was your sire thinking 111 years was long enough to prepare to take me down.
Fedra Apparent. A particularly epic failure, don't you think?
Now, Osrin, are you sure you don't belong among my clan? You're quite dramatic.
Muses. Can't step away from the spotlight long enough to see the big picture.
You know, you really ought to take center stage sometime. Oh, but then again, what that lighting might do to your complexion.
Tell me, Osrin, is pettiness in fashion, or are you just bored?
Meow, Kitty has claws.
You want to try that again?
Ooh, and sensitive to boot. You know, our conversations really are the highlight of my evening.
Can either of you be serious for 5 fucking minutes?
Oh, afraid not. I lack the bandwidth, or whatever the edgerunners are saying these nights.
What are they saying, Oz? You want to keep wasting our time and yours, or cut to the chase?
When Elias gets here.
Well, you're all quieter than usual.
Oh, I wouldn't say so. Merely waiting to exhale. Not that we need it.
What's going on, Elias?
Calm yourselves. Everything's going according to plan.
You know, I can never keep up with whom we're double-crossing when it changes week to week.
He's got a point. Pray tell, Elias, what strings need pulling?
I'm starting to remember why you work best behind the scenes, Oz.
I can't disagree. Talk like that in Night City, and you may as well wear a sign saying, "Ask me about the masquerade."
Right. Hence why we're behind screens, and I'm not within striking distance of Solomon.
Anyway, Elias, I believe you were answering our question?
Yes, we're not double-crossing yet. Just keeping an eye on the movements of Arasaka's latest upstart.
Is there reason to believe he is kindred?
Yes, I know him. I read his interview. Never been chipped and still looks that good.
I smell venture.
We could call Corinne.
No reason to wake the dead.
Ooh, trouble in paradise, Harl?
None of your business, Saul.
Spoil sport. She's not dead, just in hiding. Still feeling the after effects of the last Sokka trial.
Corinne is irrelevant. What does this kindred corpse have to do with Fedra's egregious error?
Don't you get it yet, Osrin? An integral part of Arasaka's infrastructure is an anarch. Fedra's midnight double feature is his atom bomb.
Tick, tick,
boom.
Does this upstart have a name?
Lucian Oriel. Being blood hunted out of Las Vegas, transplanting to Night City, and working his way up the corporate ranks.
Seems that someone has made a habit out of falling upwards.
Any known associates?
Aha. Now here's where things get interesting. None.
None? What, he doesn't have any friends?
I mean, that information has been sealed behind his corporate record.
No shit.
Not possible. Do we have an ID on the Netrunner responsible for this?
Not exactly. But Lucian's biggest moment of infamy from a century ago left quite the trail.
Not many can say they've escaped a blood hunt.
Least of all the ire of the prince. Las Vegas is little more than a cultural wasteland by now. Prince Ward was a different breed.
Oh, you knew him.
Irrelevant.
Focus. What sort of leverage do we have?
Thank you, Harlan. I was getting to that. You don't rise to Lucian's ranks and remain untouchable. There's several ingress points I can see, the largest being his child.
Still under heavy guard at the hospital.
In desperate need of a treatment that trauma team can't begin to comprehend.
Which we're in the position of providing.
I don't like this. Relying on a blood cult does not guarantee success.
We're not relying on them.
This Lucian and his coterie are.
At some point, they'll have exhausted all other options.
And we'll sit back as they accelerate the apocalypse.
They'll need an emissary.
I believe I've got that covered. If you'll all turn your attention to page 3. She goes by T on the net.
One of yours?
She is Malkavian. In fact, she's my grandchild.
How adorable. She has your eyes.
This Teddy Lincoln is the harbinger of Gehenna?
No. However, she has access to her ancestor. Perhaps the last of the hunted clan whose blood runs rich with the essence of Cain.
And then it's just as you say, Solomon. We'll watch and see what they do.
For a life without the Camarilla.
Precisely.
You can't know what happens after the flood. Who can say the ancients won't rise and obliterate everything?
We survived the time of the Red, Harlan. We're prepared for any manner of devastation.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with Osrin. What's going to matter is where we're standing after the dust settles.
It's not our only plan of attack, but it's the best we've come up with in some time.
Remember why we're doing this, Harlan?
For a life without the Camarilla.
For a life without the masquerade.